Hello, everybody. Thank you for bearing with us while we got up and stretched our legs and grabbed a drink, grabbed a snack. Um, Tonight we've been introducing our heroes to the rough and tumble wildlife of Europa. Um, they managed to successfully load the cylinder into the Marion. They managed to smuggle themselves onto Europa itself outside of the green zone. They managed to smuggle themselves into the green zone across the desert biome where they found a preserver outpost. Um, Thanks to Alara's quick thinking and her interest in preserver studies. Once at the outpost, they came across a number of these sort of toxic green pools of liquid, and they were ambushed by three large, terrifying creatures called acid borers. One acid borer grabbed their container of Sarkeesian eels and disappeared down into who knows where. The other two stuck around to fight our heroes, causing a great deal of damage to Alara. Alara was almost dragged away and fed to baby acid borers. RIP the art budget. But luckily, her sister and her new teammates, were able to pull her up out of the ground and rip the face off of the acid borer that was attempting to steal her. We'd rejoin our heroes in the aftermath of this combat, and I will pass it over to you guys.
Quick out of character question. Who is fatigued?
Me.
I I would be because I didn't spend a point last turn. So I'm also fatigued.
Well, lucky for you, I have lots of hero points. So I'm going to go up to Chimera. Hey, buddy. Slap him on the shoulder. Amazing job there. I would like to use my leadership advantage and spend a hero point to remove the fatigue condition from my ally.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think this is the first time this has happened on USP.
So, no, I think Resonant may have done it once too.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Not as resonant. I think it was when I was playing one of the downed Freedom League members.
Well, I love it. Chimera, your fatigued condition goes away as you are energized by Flynn.
And
before you can get over to Alara, Aylin's going to walk past you, offer her a hand to pull her up and say, remind us not to make your sister mad. Are you all right?
Yes, I think I'll be fine. Mostly scarred my legs, actually, so the rest of me is okay. I owe you all one. I couldn't really make out much of what was going on because of, the teeth and acid and everything, but I did see you all helped me out there, so thank you.
Aylin will just nod her head and then look back to where Ursa is, and basically like she's expecting her to come up and glom.
Ursa is like speed walking, almost running to Alara, but she was so far back in the field that it's just taken her a second to get there. And when she gets there, she sort of slides into her like on her knees and just starts like checking her over for like scratches and conditions, like, are you okay? Like that kind of stuff. She just starts sort of like crying a little bit, like, I thought I lost you. I thought I lost you.
No, it's gonna take a bit more than that.
Also,
So-
everyone at home, I'm going to create a handout called Who Owes the Team One. And you players have the ability to edit that as needed.
I am
God.
glad you're keeping track of that.
It seems relevant for this kind of game.
the word you're looking for is crew. Crew.
The crew one. Mm-hmm.
Saying.
Yeah, Aelin will duck out as soon as Ursa gets up there.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
No, not at the moment. Not until we the container. Not until we need to recover that.
Yes.
I'll worry about everything else later.
Just if we go into another fight, please stay back a little.
Yes, well, I thought I was standing far enough away, but the thing dug up out of the ground. But I will take your advice and stay further back. I just don't like to leave you on your own.
I'll be okay.
Yes, you will be. You most likely out of the two of us will be. Yes, sorry, the container.
Yes, I guess we should go after that. And she'll sort of look back at the team.
Aelin will kind of cock her head. Do we have a way of tracking it down?
Well,
Crickets.
I can perhaps this perception thing again. I have a point left.
I can do it.
Question
With
for
my
the
telekinesis, I have 2 points left, so don't use 0 points.
question for the GM.
Yes.
Knowing that I'm a pirate, could I have low-jacked it and have a tracker for a hero point?
You sure could for a hero point.
With that, Flynn will reach in his pocket and goes, so it looks like it's this way.
And Flynn, as you're pulling up your smart device to show everybody where it is on the map, you do see it is somewhere deep underneath the complex in front of you. From the looks of your tracker, it's probably 100 feet down.
Apparently, this complex goes way deeper than it would appear on, at least on the surface. So,
Is it like within the complex or just like underground near the complex?
kind of hard to tell with these old preserver ruins.
Well, we should get inside then. Lest we make an enemy of Malakaiger.
Oh no, we do not want to do that. And I will.
We would not recommend it.
Make my way towards the entrance.
Excellent. Jonesy, is there anybody else's fatigue you want to try and alleviate with the hero point?
I mean, if you want to, I was just gonna deal with it unless combat came up again.
What's that? Combat came up again.
I
won't say no.
Just burn through these, but having you at full tilt will do a whole lot of wonders for me. Yeah. So, well, as I start heading off, I'll just kind of like look back and go, "Are we coming?" And look back to the twins and kind of do a little tip of the hat and a wink, and just try to boost her morale that way. And spend the hero point if I'm allowed.
Yeah, you are allowed.
Seeing the wink.
My cocky optimism is just, yeah.
It's infectious.
Yeah, she cannot resist that optimism.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Sure.
And she will say, "Yes, Captain, we're right behind you."
Oh, I'm not tired anymore.
Ursa is just like chuckling under her breath. Yes, Captain.
Just in her head, to Ursa, Lara's like, "Not a word."
Right? She says back to her in her head, "Yes, Captain, we're right behind you."
Being a team player. Come on, let's go.
For what team?
It's just like angry psychic muttering.
Oh, Sam, would you pass the salt?
Yes, Captain, we're right behind you. Awesome. I'm gonna give Cat a hero point for that.
Oh, thank you. I have two sisters, so I'm very used to this mocking.
Mm. Your sisters are mean too.
Yeah, we're all mean to each other.
Shauna, if you're watching, you're awesome. Just because you're
She's
mean,
not watching.
point proven. So, on down into the Preserver Ruin you guys head. The tunnel opens up down into one of those whoosh opening doors. The whole building is made out of this sort of, it almost looks like chrome concrete. There's these circuitry veins that pass through the stonework as you're making your way through. There's a bunch of electrical panels that still seem to be humming with some kind of life. And everything architecturally seems to be built around these octagonal patterns. Every hallway you come into, generally there's 8 branching off corridors that make their way through. There's panels everywhere. Alara, I want you to make an expertise preserver tech check to start guiding people through this maze of a place.
You got it. My dazed and vulnerable are also worn off.
Yes. Yep.
Presumably. Okay. All right. Preservers, 19.
Excellent. So you've been in a couple of preserver ruins. You understand sort of their general design philosophy behind buildings as you're making your way down and around. Alara, the thing that strikes you about this place is that this is the most active preserver site you've been in from an electronics point of view. There's a number of glittering panels. You can hear the steady hum of electricity passing through. And Alara, you're pretty sure you hear this almost like this machine language being spoken between the machines that are active down here and the computers that are active down here.
So she'll pause at some point and say, all the equipment down here is surprisingly active. It's like they're communicating with each other, but I can't quite parse the language. Something technological, perhaps.
Everybody give me a perception check.
I have a 28.
24.
For Flynn.
Awesome. Everybody who got a 20 or higher, you see when Alara says that, on a monitor across from her, a single line of text appears on the screen.
We think it is listening to us, and Aelin will point out the monitor.
You walk over to read it.
As you read it, it says, "Are you a preserver?" And there's an M dash down underneath it that has a Y and an N. It's written in Galactic Basic, which is weirdly English.
Always.
Convenient that.
I think we ought to say yes.
I will side-eye Chimera at this point.
Aelin will look at Alara. Well, we don't think it's specifying preserver as in the race or preserver of things.
If this affects your judgment at all, it is a capital P on preserver.
Oh. Boo.
High five.
Well, I'm hoping that if it's asking, it means it can't tell. Though my judgment has been off today, so.
You go to say that, Naylin kind of puts her finger to her lips in a shush because she said, "We think it heard you."
Do you have a name? I'm speaking out loud.
Yes. I am the wireless all-terrain scribe organizer and note-taker. You may refer to me as Watson, if that is pleasing to you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Watson.
Are you a preserver?
Ursa walks forward and clicks yes.
Wonderful. I've been waiting for somebody to come and check on us for 50,000 cycles.
Oh. Is there a problem?
I have been sending messages for 50,000 cycles. There is a problem.
What is the problem?
Please report to the computer bay for debriefing.
Ursa will sort of look back at Alara, see if she's geeking out about this.
She is. There is something more important going on, but this is like. I mean, the fangirling is probably pretty evident on her face.
At least to Ursa.
We know what the twins are reacting to. How are the other two queens reacting to this?
Not.
Aelin is very on edge. You can kind of see like the fur on her ears is kind of standing up, and she's kind of holding herself a little bit closer.
Good job, like a cigarette at the computer room. So,
Well, if it would point the way.
When you say that, Aelin, you see some of the lights light up in the hallways outside.
shall we then?
Oh yes.
And I will start walking, assuming that everyone's following me.
Yeah.
Alara certainly is.
No, I'm just like, yeah.
Because she wants to see the preserver stuff.
Yeah.
Dang it.
So, while we're on the way, Watson, there's a piece of cargo that we were tracking. It was about 100 meters down below. It was grabbed by one of those little worm bullets, asset spitter things. Is that within
yes.
your area?
It is within the facility, but it is no longer under my control. The acid borers have been quite a problem.
Yeah, they are nasty little things, aren't they?
They are part of this situation that I need to debrief you on, Preserver.
Continue. This is chatting and walking at the same time.
Excellent. And you see that the text is keeping up on different computer screens as you guys are walking along, so it can answer questions as you're walking.
Aelin's gonna slip back next to Chimera and look at him, and slip her arm around his in that like elbows locked type of thing. We are checking up on you. Do you feel okay?
Chimera, in so much as you feel, you are a little on edge. Something at the back of your subconscious feels a little staticky in here.
There is something unusual about this place. I cannot identify exactly what is causing me to have that reaction.
Interesting. We've not known you to have many of those. We should be wary then. And she'll kind of tighten her grip on your arm a little bit.
I would agree.
Excellent.
And we'll follow the rest of the crew, obviously.
Well, the lighted path leads you through the sort of twisting cyclopean hallways of this strange facility until you get to what you assume is the middle of the outpost, the center of which you come through you come through this open archway, and you find yourselves in a recessed octagonal space that has a number of computer banks all set up. Sort of in this big octagon shape. They go from the floor to the ceiling, almost like 1950s computer rooms. And in the center of this, you see there is this boxy little robot that has a pair of almost binocular eyes up on a neck stalk. It's floating around, making a very much a Jetsons hover noise as it's hovering about. It's kind of made of this, what was once beautiful white, some kind of metallic plastic. Some of that white has faded away. There is some rust on there. There's some panels that have been eaten away, and he has these little hands that have clampers on either side of them. And he will bubble up to you and say, "Greetings, preservers. Did Prophet send you?"
Do I know that name?
Alara can make, if you have well informed, you can make an investigation or a persuasion check. Alara, you can make an expertise preserver check.
Investigation for well-informed?
Yes, investigation or persuasion, whichever one's higher.
Or persuasion is higher. I will do that. That's only a 13. I got a hero point. I got 2 of them. It's 930. Reroll that. Persuasion. That becomes a 28 on the persuasion for well-informed.
And Alara's got a 17.
Mm-hmm.
Alara, you've not heard of Prophet, but Aelin, you have heard in a couple of different places of a preserver outcast called the Prophet, who seemingly, according to legend, passed down over the millennia, was ostracized from Preserver Society for believing that their civilization was going to end suddenly and with very little warning.
Mm.
And then their civilization ended suddenly and without very little warning.
I'm going to scan the crew to see if anyone has any kind of reaction to that name, to see if there's any kind of glint of recognition.
Yeah,
before I open my mouth.
There's a little bit of eyeball or eyebrow raise from Aelin. We know of this one, but we were not sent by him.
And the robot nods, but its whole body sort of moves forward and backward as it nods. Well, that is a bit of a predicament.
What is your designation?
As I told you, I am the wireless all-terrain scribe, organizer, and note-taker, but you may refer to me as Watson, if that is of your pleasure.
You're the one that was just confirming that you're the one that we were speaking to earlier.
Yes, I am the only unit maintaining this facility as of now. As of 10,000 years ago, when I harvested the last of my brethren for parts.
So you said there was something you need to brief us on?
Yes, of course. This facility has fallen completely into disrepair and is in no state for Prophet's prophecy. He has not checked in with us in 50,000 cycles.
Prophet's prophecy of the fall of Preserver Society?
Yes. Well, not just Preserver Society. It's all a little jumbled up. You see, it has been 50,000 cycles.
Yeah.
Come. And he sort of floats over to the back of the room and gestures for you to come over with his little stubby arm.
Or I mean, what was? Okay, sure. We'll just follow. I feel like I'll get an answer to what I was going to ask in a moment. So.
And he pushes a couple of buttons on one of the consoles, and some of the towers push out of the way, revealing a view screen where a holographic presentation begins to play. There's sort of the swirling blue light, and you can see thousands of planets all spread out across the galaxy. You recognize some of the star patterns and some of the star systems. A lot of it is in Lower Republic space, or what was once Lower Republic space before the war has been going against them. And you notice that these planets are all illuminated in gold, and there's sort of a through line that goes all the way through each of them. After a few moments of the presentation, the center of the galaxy begins to unfurl, and this sort of milky black darkness begins to spread out throughout the various worlds, absorbing the light into itself as it spreads across the galaxy, pulling everything into its mass and crushing it down.
Does that darkness look familiar to something I might have seen not too long ago?
As a matter of fact, it does.
Alara glances over at Chimera, wondering if there's any sort of reaction, but certain that there probably won't be.
Chimera, there is no noise in your head in reaction to this.
Am I aware that the others are hearing something? Or hearing something?
I don't think Alara made it clear to you other than what the creature said lied to her. Or whatever's in your head said lied to her. Not necessarily a creature.
So yeah, I don't know if there's anything that Chimera would vocalize at that point.
And Watson will let the presentation play out. He sort of narrates through it. He says, 50,000 units ago, the Prophet predicted that something we locked deep in the center of the galaxy was going to wake up. And when it did, it was going to destroy the Preserver civilization. Tell me, how is the Preserver civilization doing? I haven't been able to reach anybody. Other than a nasty, nasty woman on Earth.
The Earth piques my interest. Like, what?
All she wants to do is make speedster clones. It's very strange.
Very specific.
Yes,
It's not her prime directive.
I'm sure it's not a problem.
It's not a problem with it.
Aylin's gonna look at Flynn, kind of like gesturing with her hands, kind of giving him a quizzical look.
Well, obviously, things are very busy, which is why it took us 50,000 cycles to come check in on you.
Well, I would
There's
like very
lots-
much to have this in my file, that I don't want that to happen again.
Noted.
But, since you were sent by Prophet, I should probably give you a couple of extra things to take back to him. And Watson sort of scuttles away over to another one of the computers and starts inputting stuff into the keys.
Did Prophet tell you exactly what's his, was he only predicting this thing, or did he have some sort of plan for it?
And his chassis rises and falls like he's sighing. And he says, Prophet dictated the entire plan to me, and then erased my memories about it.
save the memory of you being told about it
Yes,
first.
Prophet is quite quizzical in his means and methods.
And those memories, that data is not stored somewhere else. It's just completely erased.
It is stored in the thing that I'm going to give you, because Prophet said one day some preserver descendants would arrive and ask for pieces of information, and that I was to serve them faithfully.
Preserve our descendants, she says, and she just chuckles.
Well, that's us exactly.
And he starts clacking away at the keyboard again. And he pulls out a couple of different things in a box. He pulls out looks like almost like a map cylinder, made of steel. It's sort of a steel cylinder interlaced with a number of different hyperspace lanes and things like that. Flynn, you recognize it as a star chart. And he pulls out a couple of different drives from some of the computers. Lara, you recognize that the star chart, a lot of it is written in Preserver that you can't read, but there's one phrase that you can directly see. It says Power Stone.
Interesting. So she will point that out specifically and say, "Do you know the purpose of this power stone?"
I do not. It is all contained within the drives.
Yes. Where do we plug the drives in so we can see what's on them?
Prophet said you would know.
And we do, just making sure you're still working after 50,000 cycles on your own.
He squints at you, and his eyes, his optical sensors lower down.
Well,
We think he is in working order. Mostly. Looking at the corroded panels and
sure, okay. Well, we'll simply go plug these in then.
Yes, he's probably so corroded by now he doesn't even know the answer to your question, Alara.
I don't know the answer to the question because the place to plug them in is not here.
As it shouldn't be.
No.
He hovers up to you, Alara. You're acting very suspiciously for a preserver.
Well, again, just making sure you're in functioning order and you know all the things that you ought to know.
Has been 50,000 cycles, as you said.
Yes, it has been 50,000 cycles. I would very much like an oil bath. And a scrubbing.
We will arrange it.
Sure.
Very well. Then he turns away from Alara and hovers back over to his little station.
So you are supposed to brief us. You're supposed to give us these items. Were there any other parameters that you were instructed to follow?
Prophet said that I had to help you recover your container from the acid borers when you arrived.
Aylin's gonna cock an eyebrow at that, as though it's very suspicious that that was part of somebody's 50,000 cycles, directive. Well, we do require that container. What can you do to help us?
I could take you down into the acid borer nest.
Lovely.
How many are down there?
He clacks away on his keyboard a little bit. There is 1 adult remaining and 6 children. And 6 eggs.
6 children and 6 eggs?
Yes. Those are different parts of the acid borer life cycle.
Okay.
Quickly doing a glance around the room. Is there anything else of note here?
Sorry, Deuce took me out of my moment. Here's some kids to kick around. Give me a perception check, Flynn.
28.
You don't see anything suspicious per se with the critical, but you do see the cannibalized pieces of the other robots sort of tucked away in the corner. Each of them has a small vase of some description in front of them that has these wilted desert flowers in them.
Oh.
But other than that, you think that you may be the first people to step in here in quite some time.
Well, I believe we should head down and collect our cargo. Is there anything else that you can tell us about these acid burrows? Is there something specific that you've used to repel them, or they seem to dislike, or are they just as big of a nuisance as we suspect they are?
How versed are you in chemistry?
I'm the pretty one.
And he kind of looks at you. He says, well, they are traditionally very not fond of sodium bicarbonate. If anybody has expertise chemistry or expertise science, you can roll that.
We got engineer.
We ain't got nothing.
Or well-informed, I guess. Well-informed can be
Oh.
an investigation or persuasion check.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Or eidetic memory, you can make any expertise check untrained.
Aha. That's a thing I have.
22 on the well-informed.
Eidetic memory would just be intellect then?
Yes.
Plus 5.
Groovy. It's 9. Well, no. I mean,
Can I roll deception against the GM and say that?
No.
Okay.
But Aelin with a 22, you know that sodium bicarbonate is baking soda,
Mm-hmm.
as it's called on Earth.
Do you have any that we may utilize?
No.
Hmm.
I can attempt to fabricate some for you, though, from the fabricator.
It is a fairly simple chemical compound.
Is that your desire, preserver descendant?
We'll look around to the group.
Alara nods.
It would
Let's
help.
see the fabricator.
And Watson will head over to one of the other panels and he'll start inputting some information. And after a few moments, one of the panels opens and he produces a couple of bags of baking soda. Sort of 5-pound baking bags of baking soda.
So sacks of flour
Yes.
size.
Yes. This should aid you in your battle against the acid borers.
We thank you, Watson.
I appreciate that. It's nice to have some respect from a preserver descendant.
Well, would you lead us to the nest?
Right this way. And he will
So
putter off.
Now, as we're going along the way, I do want to keep talking to him and do want to ask him. So, this has been your primary task the last 50,000 cycles. Are there secondary tasks that you've also been assigned to complete, or is your primary mission completed?
My secondary mission was to maintain this facility, a mission that I have not been able to accomplish due to the acid borers. And to the destruction of my crew. I regret to inform you this facility has fallen into disrepair.
And now that you've delivered your primary mission, which was to, pass these items on to us, do you plan to focus on your secondary mission of rebuilding this facility, or what is next for you?
The final part of my primary directive is to serve you in your attempts to stop what the Prophet has predicted. So my intention is to accompany you if you would have me preserve or descend it.
That could be arranged.
Yes, I'm sure we can find some room for you somewhere.
I am very compact.
Out of character. Sidekick!
Shipboard AI.
Oh boy. And yeah, I think with that, as you all begin descending down into the depths of the Preserver Ruin, we will go ahead and end our first session there. I will say that you guys, in addition to Watson, you are able to find about 1,000 credits worth of salvage in here, of random Preserver stuff that you're able to pick up as Watson's been sort of talking to you. You can also feel free to use some of that stuff as the basis of new abilities if you want to bank some power points up and say you're trying to power up a Preserver item at some point. Yeah, and Watson is leading you on down to Border Town. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us for this first episode of Guardians of Haven. I'm really excited about this game. I think everybody's doing great. I'm really glad I didn't kill Calvin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried really hard.
You're glad. I'm actually kind of picturing Alara doing like this whole Little Mermaid thing as we're walking, just like picking up stuff.
Look at this, Ursa.
Look at this
Isn't it neat?
Give a Bob.
What?
Yeah, she's like a preserver fork.
Look at it. But news around the network. Our Stormbreakers will be back again tomorrow. For City of Destiny, we will be continuing our adventures over there. Thursday, we'll have a new blog post up. Friday, our new YouTube episodes will be available on the website. And I don't think I have anything else to talk about right now.
We'll be back next week.
We will be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Oh, and if you're a part of the Mutants and Masterminds Patreon, we will be doing our next one on April 16th. And I'm running it again. It's a back-to-back Alex month. So, we'll be doing a Project Freedom stream where you guys will be the bad guys. So, that'll be fun. And I'll give a chance for everybody else to say goodbye and plug anything they want to plug, and then we'll get out of here for the evening. Starting with Kevin.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight on our launch of Guardians of Haven. So hopefully you're jonesing, pardon my pun, to the next guy in line. Seeing us again as we start exploring where these new characters are going in the final frontier. Over to you, Jonesy.
Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. As far as things to plug, our first episode of our Cthulhu Awakens preview game is now available on video on demand on YouTube. So if you didn't get a chance to watch it and you're interested in modern day horror shenanigans, it might be something to check out. Other than that, yeah, the Stormbreakers are back, and lots of fun MMM stuff coming up for this channel. So I will kick it down to Kat.
Hey, thank you guys for watching us slowly discover who our characters are. I don't really have anything else to say, but I'm already having a blast. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for playing with me. I'll pass it to Andy.
Yeah, just to kind of echo everyone else's sentiments so far. Thank everyone for joining us tonight. Hopefully, we've caught your attention and you're willing to come back next week and follow along as we do these space shenanigans. I know we're all having a blast over here, so I hope you guys are too. I'll pass it over to Calvin.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. I'm really enjoying figuring out this character. There's definitely parts of her personality that are developing that I did not expect, but feel very natural. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see where all this goes. Again, definitely go check out the Cthulhu Awakens game because that was really fun as well. And over on Win with Dice, like I said, just finished Mass Effect 1 and I've started Mass Effect 2. So I'm kind of flying blind because I did play Mass Effect 1 before, but now I have no idea what's going on. So if you want to see me flounder more than usual, come check that out.
Oh man, you're in for a good time.
I've heard it's the best one,
You're
but
in for a good time.
I'm looking forward to finding out why.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you everybody again, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Make good choices. We will see you next time.